Okay, everybody, welcome to this reading. If you're not familiar with me, I'm Vicki Martin. I'm just also going live. Welcome to this reading. I'm Vicki Martin. I am a coach and I am doing a live on my YouTube and on my Facebook group. So I'm not sure. Hi, Anne. Today we're going to look at all of you who are looking for wishful answers, no sugar-coated promises. We're here for truth. And so we're going to do a spread that is designed to strip away your illusions, expose what's real between you and the person that is involved with you, and help you to see what needs to be healed within yourself. So, let's remember soulmates don't always mean forever. And that's a tough lesson for many of you to learn. The cards are going to show us where you're holding on tightly, what you're avoiding, and how you can stand in your power. I am only doing a maximum of 5 readings today. For anybody who wants to book readings, you can go on my website. I also have a bunch of other programs that is available there. But during my lives, I will only do a maximum of 5 readings. All right. So sometimes you may be holding on too tightly. Sure, Anne. Maybe you have to see what you're avoiding. Maybe you have to learn how to be in your power. The cards sometimes, shows up in all sorts of different things. And just getting my beverage. I have a drink here. It's just lemon water and some mango in it. And so, who here wants to be brave? Be honest with yourself and don't want to fight the truth and see what's really going to come out. So let's take a deep breath. Set the intentions. Hi, Shanley. I am ready to see clearly. I am ready to choose myself fully. Happy Saturday. And so let's begin. All right. So we're going to start with Anne. So remember, only a limited, I'm only going to do 5 readings. I am doing a cord cutting video right after this though. Sure, you can be number 2. Since you are the first moderator who's jumped on board, can you help monitor from there, please? All right. So I have 2 different cameras. I have a big one that's not really blown up. And I also have, is my microphone working okay? I had some problems. So I did some reconfiguration. I stuck it into a different port. Don't know what's causing the problems with it, but I'm hoping it's better. Let me know if my microphone is acting up. All right. So as I was shuffling, this card had flew out. And the card had flew out is the 10. Let me see if I'm going to do this. 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords upside down. All right. 10 of Swords upside down. Great. I'm glad that it's working because it was giving me some trouble. And I was doing the readings and I had to stop. I'm going to finish the readings. I think it's Scorpio. Yeah, I think it was only 1 or 2 more that was left, but I had some problems with my mic, so I thought I'll try to fix it. And so what does the 10 of Swords reverse mean? The Ten of Swords has a lot to do with, sovereign. It has a lot to do with gathering up the strength to face the lies and to face the truth. And so swords means communication. And swords, swords can, you know, beyond the stress, the only way that you're going to resolve stress is being able to face the truth. And, whatever is going to happen, the worst is already done. There is potentially, you're at a state of surrender, right? Yes, list closes on the fifth person. There is only 5 spots. Now, I do have my Facebook group live as well. So, Chandler, if I decide to do somebody that is on my Facebook group, I'll just say the name and you can just add them into the list, okay? Because somebody in the list here may not see it on my YouTube. All right, so Anne, so the overall readings today, we're going to be looking at many of you who are going to start being in the sovereign energy, right? And so when I deal your first card, Anne, I'm getting the Empress upside down. All right. So the Empress upside down has a lot to do with, would you say Empress? I'm sorry. Emperor. Emperor upside emperor. I just realized I was just like, was I saying Empress? I had a long day today. I'm sorry about that, guys. And so this is really about what is the truth of their feelings for you. All right. And so this is, not the fantasy, not the wish. This card is telling you how they actually feel right now. And right now, they are resisting stepping up to the plate. They're resisting being able, they feel that it's something that they don't want to reveal, that like they don't want to admit it, that it's not that they are lacking control or authority. It's just that they don't want to initiate. They don't want to step up to the plate. They are in inaction. All right. So it's basically they're not running, they're just being stubborn. All right. Just being very stubborn right now. And so the journal prompt that's going to come up for you, if you want to work through this, is, how does this card match or contradict what I want to believe? So this is a great question for you to really look at. Did you want him to appear that he's coming back for you right now? Like I'm all ready to do it. I'm charge ahead. I am ready to initiate this now. And so you're getting that he doesn't want to pursue this right now. So how does it feel to admit that this is maybe how he wants to feel right now, right? So 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 knowing that, what are they truly available for? And I have here the Magician. All right? And the magician is, this is about their capacity. It's not your desire. This is their capacity. And so are they ready? No. This card is saying it's about his willpower. It's about his will. This is about what are you truly available for? for your person? Well, this is truly up to what he feels that he wants, right? He's not looking at what you want. He's looking at what does, oh, well, if I like it, he's just waving his wand, and whatever he calls out, I'm having whatever I want. And so can you look at this journal prompt? Can you accept that that's all that they're capable of doing right now? What would it cost you to keep pretending? What would it cost you to keep pretending that they're ready for more? Like if that's all that he is capable of providing, is as long as he's getting exactly what he wants, did did you have some conception, some limited beliefs, not limited beliefs, unrealistic beliefs that is enabling him to keep you hanging on because you pretended that they wanted more? So, what are you projecting onto them? You've got the reverse 7 of wands. All right. So, the reverse 7 of wands has a lot to do with you being weak, you not prioritizing yourself. You're a pushover that readily available. And so your own illusions or needs are creating this energy that makes them think, oh, I could do whatever I want because she's going to wait for me. She's not worthy to go find something better. She thinks I'm all that, right? And so the 7 of wands, you don't have to defend yourself because you make it seem like, oh, please just pick me, pick me. And so that's the thing is you're not you're not looking at yourself as truly deserving more, right? So journal prompts for this one could be, hi, Dana. Well, we're doing a maximum of 5. So as long as you fit in that list, Chanley will take care of you on the list. So your journal prompt would be, what do I want them to be that they're not? Am I trying to fix them? Am I trying to save them? Am I trying to change them? Right? So I know you're worthy. I know that you are probably much better than them, right? But there is a possibility, that's what's happening here, is that it's naturally forgiving, loving people to want to help others. And so for you, it's not that you're looking at you versus them. You're not even comparing you two together. You're just looking at them as truly divine. You're just looking at them as a blessing. You're just looking at them as a great, beautiful human being. You see what I mean? Like, you're looking at them as so amazing, but really, you are the one who's amazing, right? You're the one who's amazing. So, because you have been doing all this work and you're healing yourself and you're seeing yourself as this wonderful, loving, nurturing, and you just want to see the world a better place, right? And because you're open to heal and love and just to forgive, you know I'm not comparing an apple and an orange, but it's an apple and an orange because that's not the energy they are holding on to. So, so let's look at what is the real karmic lesson here. Yeah, so you're doing a lot of self-love on yourself. You're choosing yourself. And if you're choosing yourself, what happens, right? You know, there's that's the thing. You're ready to stand in your power. So, what is the real karmic lesson here, Anne? Karmic lesson I see here, Anne, you've got the King of Wands upside down. So you got the King of Wands upside down, and well, the the wands, the King of Wands has a lot to do with big ego. It has a lot to do with bold and daring, and having vision and being passionate. And the karmic lesson is to seeing this person is not any of those things. This person is not optimistic, probably pretty negative. This person is not daring and bold and, seductive. This person is not a visionary. This person doesn't even have your best interests at heart. This person's probably rather boring. This person is probably rather dull. And so the thing is, you have to look at this. Why did this connection come into your life? And what is this teaching you about love, self respect, and boundaries? Well, you were willing to look at all of those flaws and say, oh, but I love you anyway, honey. And meanwhile, they would look down at you. That's because you have unresolved karma with him. All right. When there is unresolved work, that's why you can't get rid of him, because there's some you have enmeshment, you have cords that are entangled, that it's a process. By the way, I'm doing a cord cutting ritual. I have a couple of limerence videos that I've done, and I'm doing a cord cutting ritual shortly after this. So what's happening here is that, you know, you're not looking at him as a perspective of, what do you think the soul contract showed up in your life? What pattern in you is this exposing? Because that is what karma is really meaning, is this person is somebody that you got to see yourself and your actions and your narrative and your behavior, and I'm not shaming you in any way, and showing how you're basically abandoning yourself. You are neglecting yourself. You are not choosing yourself. And why is that? Because when this person is in your life, he ignores you. Or, when this person is in your life, he doesn't seem to he doesn't even treat you like you're amazing. He's just like, because it's an option. And that means you're allowing yourself to be um, taken for granted in many ways. So it's kind of like the energy that's coming through where, let's just say, we all are familiar with Kim Kardashian, I think. All right, just go with us. Kim, can you imagine Kim coming to a family dinner with that neighbor, friend, or whatever who always, never showers, always wearing dirty clothes, has no manners, is somebody who's not even attractive, you know, wears weird toupees, there's so many things that you would appreciate him finding love, but he walks in the door with Kim Kardashian, and you'll be like, this doesn't make sense. This just doesn't make sense. So this is how alignment works. All right. So maybe there's a possibility, because this real karmic lesson here is showing me, you know, we're we're comparing an apple and an orange together. Like, they just don't mix. And that's kind of like the same thing. Like, you would be like, but you're Kim Kardashian. I'm like, you're you you could you could have anybody. Why would you choose this person? And it's kind of like the same thing that's coming from you, Anne. You're kind of like, yeah, because he's my guy. Um, you really can choose anybody to be your guy. You get it? Yeah. So this is a pattern that is exposing that you think your choices are very limited, and you have many soulmates. I know there's only one twin flame. I know I've been coaching twin flames for a long time. And so if you look at this situation, the possibility that this person, if you tell yourself this story, that this person is your person, there is nobody else in this world, this is your person. Most likely, there is a soul contract. Most likely, there is a soul tie. But when they are not choosing you, this is the question that I need you to pay attention to, because I don't see them showing up for you. So far, these cards are not saying they're showing up for you in the way that you deserve. In fact, if I don't know, we got a lot of cards to pull, but if we start going through this and they show up, I think, yeah, if they show up and reconcile with you, are you going to be okay with the fact that they're just like sitting there in the chair now? Because they're not going to make your life any better. In fact, you know, they're not changing. So is this the thing? Was it that you're afraid of change, or you think they changed? Do you think that you breaking up, that they come to some conclusion and realize and shift it, their mindset and are going to start treating you more deserving, because I think that this person, their capacity is they just want to be able to control, you know, a situation. Like they just want to have what they want, and and you're not part of the picture. Like what I'm saying is, so trophy wife, you can be gorgeous and you can do everything perfect, but it's all for show for this person. Like the person will change you out for a younger version or more perfect version, or you're not part of the picture. You are to talk about the things that they want you to talk about. They want you to be what they want you to be, and anything that is you, they don't see you. They're not in love with you. They're in love with the fact that you want them, if that makes sense, right? It's really about them. Hey, Cherry, how you doing? I think my microphone's working. I was doing some recordings and my microphone wasn't working, so I think my microphone is back. So it's important that you look at, and this is important for you to look at, if you're deserving, if you're worthy, if you trust in the universe to deliver that, if you are in a state where you are in alignment with a mirror self, that is what a twin flame is. A true soulmate would choose you when you are choosing you, right? So what shadow in me needs to be healed? I've got the Four of Wands upside down. Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands, so this is the part of you that accepts the breadcrumbs, accepts this fixated type of energy. This is the personal work you have to do. All right. And so this is the personal work that you have to do is, and I know I'm looking at your names in your chat here instead of making eye contact. I'm here looking at my group here, um, but this is the thing, you know, where do you abandon yourself for love? Where does this fear come from that drives you to hold on to this so tightly? So the Four of Wands reversed. And usually in the tarot deck, the Four of Wands represents marriage. And so this is the thing. It's your ex-husband. You have history. And really where you're banning yourself and why you're holding on to so tightly is, do you feel that this is the only marriage you're going to have? Is this truly the best that you're going to have in your life? Is this what you want back? Or, because of familiarity? Because what I'm seeing here is, love. Well, yeah, why won't you marry again? What, Smith? Why won't you marry again? That's a good question. Why won't you marry again? You want to take back the one person that failed your marriage, but yet you won't marry again. I want you to write that down as one of your journal prompts, because why not? Because he failed it. So why are you holding other men accountable for somebody who we already said He's not going to show up for you. Just wants to have control over having he sounds like, "I just want whatever I want." Well, he doesn't sound like he knows how to connect. You had a marriage with somebody who didn't connect with you. You had a marriage because you fulfilled both sides of it. You put all this time and all of this effort into your marriage. You have devoted yourself to this marriage. You had done his part, you had done your part, and now you're saying, I don't think I will ever get married again. And that is because why? Because you're so good at doing both sides of the marriage? Because obviously, according to this, you could make any marriage work. Anybody could be a potential great person to marry for you. The thing is, you chose somebody who was really a butthole. You really wasn't willing to participate, according to the cards here. I mean, I don't want you to feel bad about the fact because this has nothing to do with your worth. This has nothing to do with your absolute beautiful light. This has nothing to do about what type of individuals that you can attract. In fact, you haven't even made an attempt to try to attract truly someone that you could enjoy. So let's look at what would it look like to choose yourself fully. Let's look at that. All right. What would it look like to choose yourself fully? I'm sorry, and I'm hoping this is not sounding really harsh because wishes fulfilled. Look at that. And 9 of Cups. What would it look like to choose yourself fully? All your wishes fulfilled. All my dreams taken care of. Contentment. Pleasure. And I think that you closing down that door and stating, I will never marry again, you are cutting off a wonderful type of relationship that really could be something that, if you think about it, that's why you want to go back with the ex, because you want to have that marriage again. Because I can see you going back with your ex-husband and expecting that you two are not going to have a marriage because that's all you guys know. But this is the thing, Anne. What would it look like if you choose yourself fully, your higher path, how you stand in your power, and regardless of what they do, you are going to be wishes fulfilled? If you truly loved and respected yourself, what would it feel like right now? How would my energy shift and change if I choose myself first? I think that's amazing. So, if I stay attached to this person, if I stay, thank you, Cherry. Gosh, I love you guys. How would it do? How would it seem? How would it be? Let me see. Outcome if you stayed attached. Let's look at outcome if you stay attached and outcome if you let go. All right? And let's see. What's the outcome if you stay attached? What would happen if you stay attached? gosh, that one flew right out of my hand too. So this is the thing. If you stay attached as is, no sugarcoating, this is where it's headed. If nothing changes, how does this outcome feel in your body when you've got the reversed Ten of Cups? Reversed Ten of Cups. So, Ten of Cups represents family, belonging, emotional stability. And that's exactly what's going to happen. If you stay attached to this situation, you're going to get breadcrumbed. You may get times when you may feel that you'll have a sense of possibility of reliving that part of you that you are associating with happiness because it's all you knew. But it's resistance there. There's resistance to that happiness. And that resistance is not because of them. You are going to be blocking your happiness. You could go back and you could have your family back intact, and you could have some emotional, but if this person wants to be fully in control, will shut down and need to have everything their way, where are you involved in that emotional connection? Where is your happy? What part of them shows up to make Anne happy? So let's look at the outcome. If you let go and focus on yourself, let's see what happens if you let go and focus on yourself, because that card jumped out of my hand. Yeah, well, I want you to feel that outcome that I had just told you and feel it in your body. Is this the future that you want to live with? I love that, Cherry. If this live resonates with you, please think about leaving a comment after the live. I do appreciate it. I love the engagement, guys. I love it. And I'm trying so hard to encourage everybody to watch the videos, and not just for like a couple of minutes, but actually help my videos, because when we first create the videos, it will only go to those that tend to be watching the videos. And if you're only watching it for a minute or two, it doesn't go over to be shown to all of those who may also want to see this video. And I would like to get over that hump and be seen by a more bigger crowd, so we can engage with a bigger crowd and other people can get a chance to also see what we talk about and what we do. All right, so Anne, let's look at the outcome if you let go and focus on yourself. All right. And what happens if Anne lets go and focuses on herself? Well, Anne, are you ready, Anne? No sugarcoating. This is where it's headed if nothing changes. Or this shows up as the possibility of your own evolution and new love if you release this person. All right. Now, you release this person, and this is what shows up in your evolution. All right. Are you ready? All right. The Three of Cups. Do you see what the Three of Cups represents? So the journaling prompts that you can look at is, how would I feel if I finally released this attachment? And not just let me tell you how you're feeling, but Three of Cups is about celebration. It's about reunions. It's about, right? You have something to celebrate. Friendships coming together, more than one person. It's, you're this is usually about coming back to yourself. And when you are choosing yourself, others choose you too. And I don't want to tell people, oh, just, this happens and they expect this immediate shift. It doesn't work that way. What happens is when you are choosing yourself and putting all that beautiful energy into yourself that you put in others. Like I say, you have the ability to make not only your part of a marriage work, but you also did their part of the marriage work. In fact, they can't find anybody else to give them all that you gave, right? And so this is what is common that happens in a lot of these dynamics, is that these people will come back when you let go, because they go and also find that when they start trying to find a way to replace you, um nobody nobody is willing to give them 195%, They people are like, you got to show up, and they're like, "Oh, I don't really want to." And so they just they don't know how to be inspired. It was like, "Well, she made this look seem easy." Right? Because you did all the work. I mean, you're amazing. So your higher self wants to give you some advice. And so this guidance is going to help you move forward with wisdom and compassion. And so the journaling prompts that you can use for this is, what wisdom is your soul trying to tell you? And how can you start living in your truth today? What is one decision, one tiny, small effort that you can do for yourself to ensure that you're living more in your own power today? So, your higher self is giving you this. Do you recognize this card? This card is the Four of Pentacles upside down. And the Four of Pentacles upside down is saying that, You're holding on to something because you're afraid that if you let it go, that it will never come back to you. You feel that if you let go of a love, love will never come back. If you let go of a husband, you'll never have an opportunity for another husband. You feel like if you let go, there are people who hoard things, and it is a response. It's a trauma response because somewhere in their emotional state, they hold on to things. And it's things that people need to throw to the garbage. And they're just holding on to these newspapers, and they're just holding on to stuff, right? And for the person holding on to it, they have an emotional attachment, what everybody else would just discard, right? This is saying that you need to stop hoarding. There is an energy of you feeling like this is your person, and this person's not choosing you. You are needing to look at, why are you insecure? Why do you feel that there is nobody else for you? Where is it that this person is the best that you can have? Because the Four of Pentacles is, you see the doors, the opportunities of doors are closed on you. And this is what the higher self is talking to you. The doors were always closed on you, even when you were married. What you need to understand is that he was a very important stage in your life. But now it's time for you to be able to have doors opening up for you, having opportunities showing up that you could not have with him. And so the energy that I see at the bottom of the deck is the Five of Cups upside down. And so this is a period of time for you to heal this loss and this grief that you've been holding on to, this disappointment, because you're not blinded by love. You didn't want to fail a relationship that you gave so much of yourself in, and you gave so much of yourself also for him, and it didn't work. And so because it didn't work, you feel that somehow you failed. Hi, Bodhi. You feel like you failed in some way. You did not fail. The other person did not do their part. It is not your fault if you did everything that you could and then some, if that makes sense. Of course, he wasn't listening to you. You weren't able to speak or talk or say anything because if he, okay, so this is the energy I get. Do you know what those puppeteers are like? You know what those puppeteers, they sit the little puppet on the leg and they move the hands through the mouth and they're Oh my God, I can't talk. And they make it seem like the puppet is talking. Hello, Anne. This is Anne. Do you get it? He he didn't listen to anything you said. He wasn't open. He didn't want to. So those are your journal entries. So I've given you a whole big assignment. I want you to really look at these questions. What came through for you at this time? Tomorrow we could have completely different cards, but today these are the cards that I pulled for you, and I gave you the journal prompts to help you look at where you are in this type of situation and how you could choose yourself. I hope that worked out for you, Anne. All right. My lovely moderators. Chanley. Chanley is next. Chanley. That card keeps on jumping out at me. That card keeps jumping out at me. This card keeps jumping out. Do you remember the card that came from the higher self for Anne that just happened? Well, that card is coming out for your first card or an energy to talk about it. So, where are you missing out in opportunities? I know, right? Where are you missing out in opportunities? Because there is somehow you're holding on to something. It's something that you're kind of feeling, I can't let the butterfly go. You're just feeling like, oh, there's flowers everywhere. And if I go and let that butterfly go and taste all the nectar, it's not going to come back. I like the butterfly. Yeah, but the energy I'm getting is limited beliefs. There's limited beliefs. All right. So what is the truth of their feelings for me, for Chanley? Yeah, there's some limited beliefs for you. All right. So what is the truth of their feelings for me? Chanley. Hi, Cyril. Chanley has the world upside down. Cyril, this is going to be a tough one. You can go back and watch the first one, but I just tore Anne into a lot of work for her to deal with. So, Chanley, you've got the world upside down. This is the truth of their feelings for you. How does this card match or contradict what I think you feel? Because this is saying, man, this is not over. That's what they're saying. Yeah, that's not over. This is not a fantasy. This is not a wish. This card is telling you how they feel right now. And it's yeah, it's not over. It's not over. So, what are they truly available for? All right, let's look. What is their energy? What are they truly available? So, what's their capacity of not your desire, their capacity? Are they ready for real love? Are they just playing around? And I get the Page of Wands upside down. All right. So So Chanley, yeah. Well, you got Page. Page represents immature. Wands represents, you know, passion. And so their capacity, they're emotionally unavailable. Okay? Emotionally unavailable. They're emotionally immature. No, that's what I mean. They're not emotionally unavailable. They're emotionally immature. Um, so if you're looking for real depth of connection, they yeah, they're emotionally immature. Well, yeah, they're just they know it's not done. That's what they're in completely denial. Maybe it's just like, oh, it's not done. But can you accept that this is their actual capacity? If they're emotionally immature, that means they will never fully be having the emotional intelligence to carry on a real relationship. What would cost you to continue pretending that they can, right? So, what are you projecting onto them? Got the Eight of Wands. So, this is how they see you. Your fantasies, your ways that you're showing yourself, right? This card shows you where you need to see how you know how they see you, right? What do you want them to be that they're not? What are you trying to fix? What are you trying to do to change them? Because Eight of Wands is like impulsive suddenly. It's like boom. You don't even get to think about it. It's just like, it's so unexpected. And so this is typical of somebody who is not emotionally mature because they just impulsive. And that's exactly what Eight of Wands is. Impulsive. They're not doing it because they thought about it. They're just impulsive. They just, huh, I want this. And then tomorrow I'll be in like another shiny fish, right? So, so what is the real karmic lesson here for you, Chanley? Why did this connection come in your life? What is it teaching you about love, self-respect, and boundaries? So you are getting, look at this, another page. You're getting the Page of Pentacles. All right. And so this is about you. Yeah. Well, that's because you're a people pleaser. This is really about, again, somebody who is somebody who you are seeing a potential in. All right. You see the potential in them. You're you see, like, you've been working really hard and you're really hoping that they have the potential. It's kind of like first day of work. You go into your first day of work and you really, really hope that there's a possibility that this is going to be the best thing you have ever done. It could go really bad, but you don't know. You're really hoping And so your expectations, you're a positive person. And so this is what happens. You have this way of having you give everything the very optimistic potential. There's potential, right? And that's the thing. You look for the potential. Why do you think this person show up in your life? What pattern is this exposing? So this has a lot to do with if you see the potential in them, you are putting blinders on the fact that it's kind of like, again, so I see another way of looking at it. If you were walking down the street and someone had a yard sale and put something out on the yard sale for 25 cents because it's broken, it's damaged, it's no good, but you're going to go and pay that 25 cents because there was potential that that could possibly work if you just change that cord or if you just, do something with it. And and the person who, looked at you and said, "Hey, I'm only selling that for a quarter." Because of the fact that there is a potential, it may work, but there's a possibility. It's slim, right? It's kind of the same thing. Page of Pentacles is an early state of manifestation. This card for your karmic lesson is stating you go all in right at the start and you hope that this person is going to show up for you. But you need to take a little bit more time in getting to know this person and seeing their limitations before you decide on whether or not you're going to choose this person to be in your life or not. You are giving them too much credit before they even show it to you. Before you even go on 3 or 4 dates, you're allowing them, narcissists, you had mentioned narcissists, and this is the thing. Narcissists put on a big show, and it's not until later when they know that you are already theirs, they start showing all of those little red flags because they know how to put on a good show. And so this is the thing. I'm not saying this person's a narcissist. I'm saying you see the potential before allowing them to actually show you who they are. And so like it shows in the earlier parts, things happen really fast with them. And so you need to create some boundaries where get to know someone, see if there is a potential with somebody who would be a match for you too. And so, what shadow in you needs to be healed? So, I have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands. And so, the part of you that accepts these breadcrumbs and chases and fix, and this seems so important to you, is, these are like, this is a journal entry. Where am I abandoning myself for love? What is this fear that keeps on driving me to hold on so tightly to those who does not serve my potential? And you've got the Six of Wands. And I'm sorry, you want to be chosen. You feel, I want you to choose me. You want to be seen. You want to be worthy. You want this not to be another failed, miserable. Hey, RK, you don't want this to be another failed, miserable missed opportunity. And so this is why you abandon yourself, and you will make that garage sale find something because you paid 25 cents for it and you just don't have the heart to throw it out. Hey, Don, this this is I'm going to encourage you guys all to go back and watch this right from the start. These have been some really deep truths coming through here. And this is like, maybe some of you are going to be mad at me because I mean, I really was giving it to Anne. And now I'm giving it to Chanley. But this is the thing. But this is, uh, guys, I'm only doing 5 today. I do apologize, but tomorrow is another day. And those tomorrow that I do readings for can't have a reading today. You have to let other people have a turn. So this is the thing. Chanley, going back to you, what would it look like for you to choose yourself fully? And to choose yourself fully, you've got the Queen of Swords upside down. So the higher path, how to stand in your power regardless of what you do. If you truly loved and respected yourself, what would that be right now? What Okay, I'm sorry. I understand you haven't had one. I made this that I will only provide 5 readings, and everybody, the moderators are making a list, and it's cut off at 5, and I'm not making any exceptions, or that's just what I'm doing. I'm only doing 5. I was not able to I'm not I'm not breaking my boundaries for anybody. All right? I do apologize, but that's just the rules. I said I would be on again tomorrow, and when I'm on again tomorrow, those who had a reading will not be able to have a reading again tomorrow. And so that's I know that if you see me post something and in the chat, you can jump into the chat and you can request to be on the list. And I will only do a maximum of 5 um, for my live tomorrow. Okay. And then that's what I can say is, look for my live. I know that you're in a different country, but I'm going to try to post something and it will be floating there for a bit before I start. And it will give everybody a little bit of a chance. All right. So let's go back to Chanley. This is her reading. And for all of those who resonate with this reading, all right? So for all of those who are in the situation where the person takes for granted, says, it's not over. She'll be back. She'll be back. And because of the fact that this person will take the breadcrumbs, will be, you know, you know, accepting the unfairness. So what would it be like if Chanley decided to choose herself fully? And I've got the Queen of Swords upside down. And the Queen of Swords upside down, she doesn't have to be cutthroat. She doesn't have to be independent. She doesn't have to be objective and truthful. She doesn't have to be closing her heart. She doesn't have to be guarded. Because that's the thing. Chanley right now is being guarded because she's afraid of getting hurt, because she's jumping into relationships before she knows who she's dating. And so really anything can happen. She's looking at the fact that right soon as she meets them, she has all of these high hopes, high expectations. Things happen really fast. And then before you know it, she's all in and she realized, uh-oh, they're a bit of a narcissist, or they're a bit of a love bomber, or they got a lot going on that I never knew. And so that's the thing. You're going into these relationships, guard it, expecting that there's a possibility you're going to be abandoned, or expecting eventually you're going to see something way too soon. The fact that you keep on attracting narcissists is a limited belief right there. That was the door right here. And so if you stay attached as is in this situation, you've got 3 of Wands upside down. No sugarcoating. This is where it's heading if nothing changes. You can't see a future with them, can you? You don't feel that this will grow. This is why you blocked them. They say, oh, she'll be back. And you know they're emotionally immature. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to grow. You're not going to be like old people loving each other, taking care of each other. You know that if you stay right where you're at, you don't see them in the future. And if you let go and focus on you, now it's kind of funny. You've got what would it look like to choose yourself fully? And you had the Queen of Swords upside down. And I said, that was you in your divine feminine power not being guarded. So if you let go, focus on yourself, the possibility of your evolution, or is there new love if you release them? And you got the King of Swords. So are you emotionally going to shut down? Are you going to attract somebody who's more logical, more mature, maybe emotionally detached, but a serious commitment? Somebody who wants to be a king in your world? You know, he might be a little guarded because you're marrying that, right? You're guarded. So you're going to bring somebody else that's guarded. But you're going to attract somebody who wants to have a serious relationship. Isn't that really what you want? So look at the journal prompts for this one, okay? So if you stay attached and you've seen the outcome, possibly no future, you know, what does that feel like in your body? Is that a future that you can live with? And if you choose yourself and work on yourself, you will attract a man who will be very similar to yourself. who wants a strong, stable relationship. He may be more logical about it, but he won't be emotional. And sometimes these emotional relationships is a little hard to manage. This is somebody who's going to have a balance in his head and his heart. What does this show you about the potential for freedom and healing? How could you feel if you finally release this attachment and attract somebody who wants a serious relationship? So your higher self is leaving a message. Your higher self so you've got here the Fool upside down, reversed. So the guidance for you for moving forward with wisdom and compassion, your soul is trying to tell you something here. You know, how can you start living your truth? And it's saying, listen, you got the Fool upside down. And, don't step into these meetings, when you're meeting someone, having, dating somebody, don't be naive. Don't step into this giving them because you're such a positive, you see the good in everything. And so because of that, you kind of don't pay attention to the things that could go bad. So you you're quite adventurous, right? You're quite daring. And they're saying, "No, it's time for you to understand you're not so innocent. You've been there, you've done that. It's time for you to take a step back and say, you haven't earned this yet. Let them pursue you. Let them court you. Let them engage with you. Let them show you who they are. And then you can decide, do I want that? The energy underneath this deck, the overall energy of the deck, is the Hierophant upside down. The energy of this reading is saying, listen, I've been doing this a long time. It's kind of tradition. It's the way I have learned things had to be. It was the way I've shown. This is the way that I've known. And this is something that I have to learn how to do it differently. I know that the way I've been doing it is probably not working out for me. And this is the important part for you. Einstein's theory of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. So how can you get a different result? You need to change one thing. And that is to focus on how amazing you are. You are the prize. Stop being so optimistic that they are. Choose yourself. Don't look to see if they choose you, because that's where you need to heal. You want them to choose you. You need to choose you. And that's your reading today. All right. Who was number 3? Hello, who was number 3? And that's the thing. If anybody is not here watching when their turn comes up, I know there's people here who's waiting to take over their spot. So that's I I hope, Chanley, both you and Anne took these readings in absolute love, and I hope that Dana, you still here? Dana, I know that you asked. Are you still here? It's Dana, Cherry, and Bodie. And if anybody doesn't show up for the reading, then we got a little bit of list of people waiting, because I'm pretty sure we had RK asking. I know a couple of other people showed up. Just because of the fact that sometimes a commercial could be playing. Not everybody has the subscription that you can go and watch it all for free. You know, like there's subscribers that have no interference. So I'm just going to give Dana a moment because I'm probably ahead. I'll take a chance to take a sip of my drink. Dana. Dana, calling out to you. Dana. It's 8:11 here, so it's 11:11 somewhere. We'll take a moment. Clear the energy. All right. RK, you still around? Because it looks like you might be able to get in that list after all. Don't want to get your hopes up high, but you didn't start going around trying to get rid of people out of our list, did you? All right. No, I wouldn't. RK would be going at the bottom of like the end of the list. I would be taking the next one on the list. Or maybe not, because I'm getting the energy for this reading is about obsessive love. Yeah. All right. So who was number 4 on the list? You. Cherry? All right. And who was the last one? Because this is number 3, right? A Bodie. So it would be Cherry, Bodie, and possibly. Now, I don't know that devil was for Cherry or for RK, because is RK here? Oh, yeah, Cyril asked before RK. Cyril was here too. Yes. Well, that's the thing. RK, Cyril, Cyril asked first. Actually, we have to honor Cyril if Cyril's still here. Cyril, you still here? All right. Well, let's go on to Cherry. All right, Cherry. What's the truth of their feelings for you, Cherry? Actually, I'm feeling I'm going to do a different one for you, Cherry. I'm going to do the current energy between you and this person. Cherry, this is your soulmate. This is your soulmate, Cherry. Cherry, there is a soulmate here for you. This is a spiritual connection, a bond like no other. So, right now, there is a soulmate making its way to you. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Soulmate. That's probably why, as I was shuffling, I'm feeling like, oh, I'm going to go to a different set of questions. I feel there is a soulmate here, a true unit, a true bond. And maybe right now it's only spiritual. It may have not yet shown up in the physical. So, manifestations work like this. They are created spiritually. They are charged mentally. They are enforced emotionally. And then they show up physically because of what has manifested in the ether. So, look at you. So, there's a start. Right now, there's a spiritual evolution has happened. Maybe even Bento will look into it a little deeper. Definitely spiritually, you believe that's enough, right? So what's your energy like? Because this is the current energy that's flowing between you two. So let's look at your current energy right now. Where are you? How are you truly showing up? Subconsciously, or expectations, or, maybe attachments or fear, because I have the Tower. So the Tower is like, oh my gosh, I it's chaos for you. So it's like a chaos for you. It's like, oh, you know, a big sudden change. Hey Dana, you're still here. We're still running around. I know that there were some people who were hoping you won't show up. I went ahead and I'm doing Cherry. Stick around, Dana. It's okay. Um, so Cherry, here you are. You're in alignment with this beautiful soulmate. You absolutely have this frequency emotionally, spiritually. Um, but your energy towards this person would feel unsteady. It will feel destructive for you. In fact, it's kind of like you've put, oh, I've been waiting for this my whole life. And all of a sudden they show up and you're going to feel like you're going to fall apart because you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what to do. And so this is the energy that you're getting. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Oh my God. Oh my God. And so this is the thing. You're just putting too much into it. Let go, release, release, release. Breathe, breathe. And so it's going to be chaos. It feels unnatural. And their energy towards you, their true vibration towards you, not what they show, but this is truly the vibration towards you. Get the Ace of Wands. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. They're like, oh my gosh, a little spark, a little, oh, that's a cutie, right? That's a great way for, you're freaking out and they're like, oh, doesn't matter what they're showing you. That is what they feel. They feel, ooh, like passionate. They're inspired. So what's blocking this connection? And I've got the Seven of Pentacles, right? So you're like, I'm just waiting for it to show up. This is the interferences. This is the delays. This is the past life karma. This is the, what is going on here is that this is divine timing. This is divine timing. This is a soulmate you have been trying to manifest for so long. And so what is blocking this connection? It hasn't shown up yet, all because you will get your reward in due time. It's just be patient. Patience is a virtue. And what you are meant to learn from this, you've got the Four of Swords. And so what you need to learn is how to be able to be peaceful and take a break and breathe and rest and relax and chill. Chill. Because your energy is creating this delay. Because they already are like, and you're like, oh. So what are you doing? You're making, it's like you're freezing, like the fawn and freeze. Like you're like, oh, I don't, you're panicking in some way. And so this is the thing. You need to just chill and take a break. Just allow things to flow. This is a pattern with you. You're energetically, you want it so bad. And then when it starts seeming to show up, you're like, you're so tense. You're so, and it's just really, you're not allowing that flow of energy to flow through. So what action should you take? So what action should you take? Is this a time to step back? Is this a time to reach out? Is it time to release? And I've got the Two of Pentacles upside down. So this is really about you removing yourself from this type of energy. It's time for you to really look at this yourself. If you were to meet somebody, are you going to be okay with the changes that's going to happen in your life? Are you going to be okay with the changes that's going to happen in yourself? Because all of a sudden you're going to start seeing all of these things. Your wounds are going to start coming out. Wounds that you never knew you had. And so this is the thing. You never knew all these things about yourself that this brings out. And so you didn't realize you were imbalanced. You didn't realize that you're not flexible. You didn't realize you need things a certain way. You didn't realize how to get out of your own head. So the potential outcome that's going to happen within the next month. Empress. Here you are in your divine feminine energy, attracting your soulmate. Nurturing yourself, being a magnet. This is a great card for you. And the energy under the deck, overall, through all of this, is be discerning, because you may not believe it's true. Because you got the Seven of Swords. And so the lies that you tell yourself, the way that you thought things were not true. You thought, oh, I got this, I want this so much, until they show up and you're like, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. And so this is the thing, the self-talk, the lies that you tell yourself, the way that you get in your own head, the way that you tell yourself. So this is what's coming through. There is a lady who is meeting somebody from a dating app, and the person walks in the door, takes one look at her, and walks out. And she calls her best friend, and she said, oh my gosh. So he took one look at me and he turned around and left. He thought I was heavy. He didn't think I was attracted enough. He thought I was in, and she was just tearing herself apart. She is doubting all sorts of things about herself. And, and all of you are saying, oh my goodness, why is she saying all these bad things? So would you let your best friend say all of those things to yourself? Absolutely not. We would be appalled if the best friend said all of those things to her. Oh, well, he left because you put on some weight. He left because you had too much makeup on. He left because you put on you were ugly. You're not going to let your best friend talk to you like that. So why do you talk to yourself like that? Why is that okay? Why are you allowed to make all sorts of excuses why you are not validated, right? You don't know if he turned away because you were too good for him. You don't know if he turned away because he has a child and a wife at home that he was cheating on. You don't know if he walked away because maybe he had an absolutely horrific case of AIDS or something. You don't know what's going on. Maybe he chose not to go through with it because he was going to do something bad to you. You don't know. So the stories that we tell ourselves sometimes are not true. And it's important for you to get out of your head and be the divine magnet that you are, because your soulmate is on its way. And that person already desires you. All you have to do is be a magnet and show up. And it looks like you're freaking out, thinking, oh my God. And because of the thoughts in your head. So that's your reading. All right. Dana. And then Bodhi's next. Bodhi, you still here, right? Right. you sure you guys want to get really deep into the truth? Because this is what we're doing here. I don't know about you, but I think these readings are pretty on point. I hope you're all resonating with them. I hope that you're all at some point resonating with them. Some of you may think I'm a little harsh. Some of you may think that, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just delivering what needs to be told. All right, Dana. Dana, this is for you. Now, Dana, I know you stepped away to make some meal. I hope that you're going to be okay because I don't want you choking on any food. What is the truth of the feelings for you? And what is the truth of their feelings for you, Dana? Not the fantasy, not some wish. This is how they actually feel about you. Okay. So I got the death card upside down. And boy, it looks like things are really supposed to have ended with you two. Like, it was supposed to be done. Like, over. Like, I don't know which one is done, but they actually want to not have it done. They want, they haven't really let you go. They haven't moved on. How does it feel to admit that this is maybe how they really feel about you? You know, how does this card maybe match or contradict what you want to believe? You know, is there a possibility that they haven't really moved on? They might be in a relationship right now, but they haven't moved on from this. What does that mean? And you know what? You and them could be a karmic loop that's still repeating just with somebody else, but you're still connected, because I'm seeing here that death usually means an ending and a new beginning, and they're like, no, I want to go back to the way it was. I want to bring up what was done and dead. I want it back. I haven't moved on. So what are they truly available for? Their capacity. Not your desire, but their capacity. You got the Temperance card upside down. So what is their capacity? Well, they're not peaceful. They're not forgiving. They're not patient. And they're not really, let's just put it this way. They want what they can't have. They want you because you make it easy for them. You know, they love the fact that you will make their life easier, or, you know, it's all about really what you do for them. It's not like, I think you're a bit of a people pleaser, and they feel pleased. So it's not like what they can give to you. It's like, what can you do for them? Can you be okay with that's maybe all their capacity right now? What would it cost you to pretend that they want more from you? So what are you projecting onto them? So that is kind of like, how are they showing up for you, right? So your own illusions, your needs, maybe your savior type of fantasies. And this card can show you where you need to wake up. And you're like, yeah, I just, everything's just going to happen suddenly, just shift, right? So it's like, oh, can you just wake up the dead and just go back to like everything okay? Can you just suddenly snap? Everything is okay. So here they are suddenly just coming back. Like it was done. And they ghosted you. And this is the thing. This is coming back after a ghost, right? And they want to just act like, yeah, everything's okay. We can just continue on where we left off. Um, what is it that you're trying to change or fix? What is it that you're trying to accomplish here? Because if they want to just show up and take over after they ghosted you, and why are you okay with breadcrumbs? Why are you okay with them going off and just doing whatever they want and just coming back and suddenly, oh, everything's, I want this now. And you just drop everything and give them what you want, what they want. So, what is the real karmic lesson here? The karmic lesson, why did this connection happen the way it did in life? And you've got the sun upside down. And the sun upside down is saying, hey, this soul contract showed up in my life. This is a pattern in me that is happening, that I do not put my happiness first, that I put so much success in the opportunity of a potential in this relationship that I was willing to accept breadcrumbs, chases, or fixes, because I was being optimistic that as long as I am happy for both of us, we're both going to be really happy. You didn't really give them the opportunity to show up, because I don't think they really actually make you happy. You don't even know what makes you happy. So what is this showing you? You know, what is it that needs to be healed here? You queen of cups, you queen of cups, you, because this is the shadow that needs to be healed. You know, you accept the breadcrumbs, and because you're abandoning yourself, because you see, I love them, and you will you want someone to love you unconditionally because you love them unconditionally. You see the potential, you see the gifts, and you see them as a divine creature, you see them as amazing, and you're self-abandoning yourself because you are probably a healer. You have this gift of seeing the divine in everyone, really. It's just that that's where you're focused on. And so if you see your focus, you want to fix them. You want to love them. You want to love them because they're usually broken. They are incapable of loving themselves. So you want to love them for them, right? They are incapable of love. So I would love us. I love us. I love this so much. I'm just going to be your cheerleader. I'm going to make this happen. And so this is the thing. You're in a one-sided relationship, even when they're there. Yeah. So what would it look like if you choose yourself fully? All right? Your higher path, how you stand in your power, regardless of what they do, whether they want to show up or not. If you truly loved and respected yourself, what would that look like right now? And I've got the moon. And what does the moon represent? The moon is a lot of uncertainty and hidden and illusions. And it can change every day. That sun hitting the moon can really change how the moon looks every day, right? So, what will it look like to choose yourself fully? Well, sometimes you may not feel so great. And some days you may be a little dark. And some days you'll be shining bright. But isn't that okay? Because your energy is changing day to day. And it truly depends on how others see you. And so if you want to believe that how others see you is so important, you're giving them the ability and all your power. You'll never really be able to wake up and know that your days are going to be amazing every day because you're handing over your power to someone else based on my sun, the sun that shines on me is based on something hidden, some illusion, some secret that you need to feel validated, or you need to be seen, or you need to be heard, or something is uncertain. So maybe you need to look at your own secrets that you hold for yourself. Maybe you need to journal a little bit. Maybe you need to see why your energy changes and shifts based on what attention they give you. Because if you stay attached as is, you've got justice. This is about karma. And we already talked about the karma lesson here. You know, this is where it's headed if nothing changes. This is the outcome. This is the future that you want to live with. Well, it depends on the laws of the universe and your integrity. And sure, if you give and give and give, you get something out of it. But it looks very much like it's karmic. It's based on you need to figure out who you are fully, because I don't think you know who you are. I see you as the moon. I think you don't know. I think you tell yourself lies. You're much more bigger. You're much more powerful. I think you're probably even so intuitive. You already know that you're everything, and you hide it. You shield and protect yourself because you're afraid that they may think you're too much or too something. If you let go and focus on yourself, this is the possibility of your own evolution. 9 of Pentacles. If you let go and focus on yourself, this is how you'll feel if you finally release this attachment. And I'm seeing self-sufficient, independence, success for all your effort, accomplished. The message from your higher self so that you can move forward in wisdom and compassion. Your soul is trying to tell you how you can start living in truth today. And you've got the 5 of Cups. Death is really about someone that you have lost. And it could be past life where you've lost this person in a past life. And they are helping you deal with the grief that you have never resolved. There has been disappointment and pain that you've been carrying around for a long time. And you're allowing somebody to possibly come back in your life or manifesting this ending and completely be gone and abandoning you or leaving you and then completely showing up again in your life because you have never yet been able to resolve your grief. And it's a karmic loop where you are repeating a pattern. And especially with the moon here. The moon has a lot to do with why are they in charge of your emotions? Because you'll grieve them, mourn for them. Now this time, the 7 of Swords is underneath the deck. And this time, it's not for the same reason. This is not, but it is. How are you lying to yourself? What type of stories are you telling yourself again and again that's not true? What are you hiding and avoiding? What deception? Is there a part of you that feels that this is the only chance and opportunity that you can get because you're nothing without them? because you're blinded to love. If you can't say and be who you truly are, and be absolutely happy and grateful no matter how they are, like how, regardless of what they do, if you cannot show completely up for yourself, then you're separate from yourself. It's time for you to heal the relationship you have with yourself. Because this way, no matter what they do, you are there for yourself. And no more will you take on their lies as truth, because all that matters is how you talk to yourself. You're not going to lie to yourself anymore, because it seems like you allow them to tell you lies. So it's time for you to form a relationship and heal this disappointment and this loss and this pain. And I feel this is like soul loss. You know what I mean? Soul. I have a video to help repair soul loss, where you gather all those pieces of you that you lost in each of those relationships, and you bring it back and you heal yourself. It's really powerful. It's called the inner, let me see, it's the inner child video. You may want to do that one. Okay. I hope that helps you out, Dana. Yeah, there's a video there. Heal your inner child, soul retrieval. Do it. Yeah, do it. Yeah. I'm here for you guys. All right. Who's next? Bodhi. Bodhi, are you here? I'm pretty sure that RK is hoping you're not. Or Cyril. Hey, Bodhi, are you here? Might as well call upon Cyril and RK to step in if Bodhi doesn't show up. We'll give him a minute, and if nobody shows up, we'll end it here. Since we've been on here for about 2 hours, so yeah, we've got Bodhi, and we also have Cyril, who was to step in if Bodhi doesn't show up, and RK. I told Cyril and RK to show up tomorrow, so they're both going to be looking for me for tomorrow, so it's going to be okay. Yeah. Oh, these are really amazing readings. I really hope you guys all leave comments below so that others will take the opportunity to watch and listen. Sometimes they won't because they're like, "Oh, it wasn't about me. I don't care." But these are powerful readings, and I think there's something in there for everyone to catch and listen to. Maybe some truths there that others need to hear. And, it hurts sometimes. There's like a lot of denial that we hold on to. We don't want to know that they could be also in those stories, right? I mean, Cherry, yours sounded pretty good, but in your story, everything else is working out, but you actually you're the only one that pointed out and said, "Hey, you to need to work on yourself." And how I was saying that was you were too much in your head. You were not allowing things to flow the way that they need to go because you're too worked up energetically that it was just going to be a catastrophe. And they're trying to wait until you can chill a little bit so that when this relationship happens, you don't kick yourself in the ass and say, "Oh my God, I ruined it." They want you to be ready. That's all. They want you to be able to enjoy it. It doesn't look like anybody who was supposed to come to the last reading is going to show up. So, this is where I'm going to end our night. Well, I don't know who's still here, but it's only showing two of you here, and it's probably Dana and Cherry. So, Page of Swords, thank you for the communication. Thank you for the messages. Thank you for sharing the messages with all of those who are watching this with us. Thank you for all of the information that we were able to be blessed to share with us. And so I am so honored to have you, yeah, absolutely, share this time with us. And for all of you who were able to watch what we just talked about, you know, this is a time for all of us to step into our energy. Today I had a client. I was doing nano needling her brows, and so I wasn't sure when I was going to be finished. And so I work every day, long hours, and I had to fix my stuff. And I have to do a cord cutting ritual right after this. So for anybody who feels that they need to clear any attachments or limerence, or if they feel that they're not in alignment with truly what they deserve, when release some toxic energy that's not even theirs or whatever, these are really important type of energy clearance. So for you can really step forward in your energy and not some energy that you have taken on from someone else, you know? So, these cords that we tie with others affect us quite dramatically. So, I encourage everybody to go and check out my other videos. Hopefully, they help you. I definitely have some really amazing videos to help you energetically. And stay tuned. I am going to create a cord cutting ritual. Check out my website. I've made some changes. I do have digital downloads that are really effective, but I also have some offerings there and information that's even free for you. So check them out. I usually have my website here on the screen, but I don't have it there this time. But it is in my description. So just go and check it out. I hope you all have a wonderful day and know that tomorrow is a brand new day. Everything can go your way, and all you have to do is choose you. All right. So thank you for joining me today. I have to reposition my camera, I think, because I'm not able to have the eye contact with you, but even though I'm looking at your names. But all right, so God bless. Love you all. I hope you have a great day. Like my videos? Oh, that's okay. Go watch my videos. I need another 1,100 hours of my videos watched. So can everybody, like, it's only you, Jerry, that's probably here, but can everybody just go and watch my videos and help me out? All right. Okay. Good night.